had this main earthquake on 25th of April, and there was another earthquake of 7.1 Richter scale. The second one very much affected the motivation of the local people. We thought after that big earthquake there would be only small aftershocks. But if the aftershock is of 7.1 magnitude, it was really scary actually. Yeah.
It was everywhere debris. The situation called for help, called for assistance.
But aftershock, we used to think this is another earthquake, especially among children. It brought terror. I used to have the fear that this is the earthquake and some of us may again be the victim of this.
After the earthquake, many students lost their parents. At that time, they can't afford their stationery materials, uniform as well.
Building schools is a great cause. From the earthquake, we have 6,000 schools damaged, and we are building 31 schools. It's a small contribution, but the way we are working, the type of schools we are providing, the classrooms and the whole environment we are providing, they are model schools in Nepal. Even in the Department of Education, they always give examples of Caritas work, of how the schools should look like or how the schools should be built. Sindhupolchok is the most affected district where there were highest number of casualties, where the number of houses and public infrastructure like school, health posts were mostly damaged. I was there 3 days after the earthquake. At that time, there was no even temporary shelters. People were actually sleeping on the ground.
There was so much damage right after the earthquake that the people were really not in the position for managing all these tasks.
There was a first emergency relief phase where temporary learning centers were built, very basic infrastructure just to make sure students have a covered area to attend school before the actual school is completed. Of course, these structures are not exactly child-friendly, and school attendance has dropped after the earthquake.
There is disturbance, from one class to another. There's no proper insulation between two classrooms.
The teacher is teaching in this class and we are studying in this class, and when the teacher is teaching in this class, we are hearing the sound of this class too, so it is hard to understand.
In winter season, in the classroom, fingers doesn't work well to write down.
While it rains, the water goes to the classes, and which will hamper the class.
And in the windy season, it was very difficult to teach as well as study for the student.
In the country like Nepal, education has higher importance. If the children are not empowered, if the children are not educated, no any society or no any country cannot move forward. So today's children are tomorrow's future.
To develop our country, to develop our community, to develop our sensitivity, and to develop ourselves, we should be educated.
So many people are not educated. Quality education is necessary for life, but how? They have no answer or no idea.
Some students left school because they have to earn money to eat. They have to work to live.
They are under pressure to support their family financially. They migrate to other cities or they migrate to other countries searching for work.
Most of the students, especially ladies, they got married at the age of 13 or 14 and they dropped the school.
They have to leave home 7 a.m. from early morning, and they arrive here 10 a.m. With empty stomach, with a stressed mind, how can they study?
We would like as many children as possible to attend school, and that means having a safe and child-friendly environment, and we exactly want to avoid a lost generation that cannot go to school.
It is important for children to feel safe, not only children but the parents sending their children with the belief that they will get good education plus they are safe.
Where a student can safely study so that they can think that we have earthquake resistant building and we don't have to fear while we are studying in the classroom.
When I come to know about this project, there were no schools at all in this area. Every schools were destroyed. People were scared because the earthquake was continuously going. This hope now I see it's getting true. If we could build the school for the children, psychologically we have overcome with that fear also. And now I can see students are happy. They are in very hurry. When can we go inside the school to study now?
The schools that failed in the earthquake, they were made of a steel structure and a masonry structure, and as steel and masonry behave differently in an earthquake, the steel is more resilient, but the masonry could not withstand those displacements, and so the masonry parts just collapsed. The steel part sometimes remains, and we are reusing it in a reconstruction program. It is really the details and an appropriate design and an appropriate implementation that make our concrete schools earthquake safe.
We do a structural analysis of the building before we actually start construction. We also look into the bearing capacity of the soil. On the basis of that, we design this foundation.
The contractors we hire for the reconstruction are mostly based in Kathmandu, but then they hire locally available workforce where possible and where required. Skilled workers usually come from other parts of the country, but for works where non-special skills are required, local people are hired as well.
During monsoon, which is about 3 to 4 months, the roads that is connecting the school get damaged either by landslide or the road is too muddy, too wet. It can be difficult to transport construction materials up there. But what we are doing is we are doing some advanced planning so that they have storage of some necessary construction materials so that the work can continue.
In monsoon, work is still possible, that's the good thing, but not in full scale. In 5-8 miles distance, you have about 500 to 800 meters altitude difference, so it takes half-day journey just to get to the next village or get to the next school sometimes.
The people of Nepal, they have this phrase, ke garne, what to do. It has to be understood in the way that, they had an earthquake, what to do? You cannot change that, now you just have to move forward. This looking towards the future attitude is something the people of Nepal have to offer. They want to play their role, they're ready to contribute. Even in very remote places, they can manage to hire an excavator and have a complete road relocated just for the school to be rebuilt.
Within Caritas, we have international staff, we have local staff, then we have partner NGOs, and we have our schools with the school management committee members, the teachers, the students. So there are people involved at all levels, with all kind of capacities, with different ideas.
We are trying to engage local community in different stages of construction.
During construction, we have public audits regularly, so the community is informed about the progress of the construction and the financial aspects. The building is also designed in such a way that it has areas in which public events can take place. Probably the new buildings will be more of a central part of the village.
People now they are also starting constructing their own home. They are learning from our project how the steel should be and what thing we need to consider to build a safe house. This type of building in this area, they have never seen such type of technique we are using.
Some people, they come to site and they often ask us questions. They can copy or learn from the similar techniques we are doing now.
They talk to Caritas, technical officers. They talk to the workers. I think this is how they are learning.
For this project, we not only want to have a nice school building, a nice school compound, we also would like to reduce dropout of students. We would like to improve health conditions. We would like to influence the environment at school as well as at home in terms of hygiene. We would like to ensure that the school compound and the wash facilities are maintained for a long time. That's where the social components play an important role.
I think Sindhupolchok district now will have some of the most beautiful schools in the country. It might be seen not anymore as a poor district that was badly hit, but also as a district where things are now an example for the rest of the country.
Now I can say that Caritas Switzerland is just not building schools, they are building hearts of the local people and the students.
And with collaboration and coordination, with joint effort, little by little, we can make a change.